Now look at what I have here, the all-new 3T Exploro Race Max, a new design of the bike that back in 2016 when it first launched became the world's first Aero gravel bike. 3T have been kind enough to send out this all-new Exploro for me to take a look at and give you guys the inside scoop on. Whether you think you need Aero or not, it matters on and off-road. And 3T's new Exploro Race Max has been optimized from its predecessor to create a more refined, aerodynamic, and faster Exploro. Now there's a lot of features to go through on this machine, so grab yourself a soda, maybe make some popcorn, and settle in. All right, so let's duck into this redesigned frame set. First off, you can see with the massive down tube here, it has been completely redesigned and has variable down tube depths. Here, 46 millimeter, then it flares out to a massive 75 millimeters. The reason for this? To divert airflow. They want to have this 75 millimeters here to actually shield a full water bottle, all in the name of aerodynamics. Now, moving down low, a change from the previous Exploro, dually dropped chainstays. Now, the reason for this, they say, is to one, increase stiffness and to allow for bigger tires. What size tires might I be able to run on this, Jeremy? 61 millimeters to be exact from what 3T tells us, with a 1x system of course, but much more on that later. Moving backwards, the rear cutout of the bike is a bit different than past models. The goal again, aerodynamics and to be able to accommodate larger tires. Now, the frame set has mounts for just about everything. I can see fender mounts here, and on the fork. I've also counted 4 different places to be able to mount water bottles in case you want to go out there and do a big exploration adventure ride. The redesign incorporates direct mount 160 brakes front and rear, something on the front fork with the 160 flat mount I have not seen before on a bike. In a departure from the past, the rear derailleur hanger is now fixed to the bike. It does not come free longer when you're doing a wheel change, which is a change from the previous Exploro. Okay, so let's take a look at the fork of this bike. You guys can see here, it's nice and wide up top and slowly tapers down. Right here, you can see at the paint line, there is a small flare which matches up with the frame design. This is where it switches again from 46 down to 75. Now, 3T actually developed with Cane Creek a proprietary headset to incorporate a very narrow 1.25 headset up top and down low 1.5 crown. They say up top, they want aero and narrow, and down low, they want to be able to increase stiffness. 3T has opted to use the company's Syntace and their X12 through axles, which secure the wheels to the frame set. All right, so let's talk about the geometry. This bike, a size 54. 3T's done some small tweaks to the geometry. Those include a slightly taller stack, although a similar standover height. Another major is that 3T is going to be able to offer many more frame sizes this coming year, with extra small all the way through size 61. The smallest frames are going to have different fork rakes than the larger frame sets to minimize the fork frame wheel distance depending on your size. The frame will have a slightly different bottom bracket. They say from the smallest to the largest, the BB drop will be about 4 millimeters of difference. As normal for the Exploro, they're going to have the ability to run 650 and 700C wheels. All right, so for group sets on the Exploro, it does come in 1X or 2X. This bike has the all-new SRAM Axis Force 2X wide group set. Up front, it has a 4330, and in the back, a 3610, which is currently bigger than what I have on my mountain bike for range. Now, if you want to go with big tires on this, you should definitely opt for 1X as you'll get the most clearance. As I said before, 61 millimeters. And of course, that depends on wheel combinations, tire treads, etc., which we, again, are going to get into quite a bit more in just a minute. So let's take a look at the cockpit on this bike. This is all, of course, using 3T components up front. First up, you've got the Aptos Stealth stem here, made from 6061 aluminum, a claimed weight of 155 grams. It has a reverse faceplate bolt system here on the back, which 3T tells us keeps it super clean and elegant up front, as they put it. It's attached to the Super Ergo LTD carbon fiber bar. This one measures out at 44 in width, and it's finished off with 3T's Prendo Speed bar tape. You have to check out the finishing tape as they've put some of their own words on there to keep you motivated on your explorations. So moving up top, this bike has the Argo 160 Tempo Physique saddle. That's the saddle that I've been using for the last year. Moving down here, it uses a Ritchie Logic clamp to mount the saddle to this seat post. That seat post is a carbon fiber proprietary 3T Exploro D-shaped seat post. 3T's also been able to update the seat clamp, which holds this up here in the frame. They say that it now adjusts differently than the old one. It is an improvement over their older 3T Exploro design. All right, so if you took my advice on the soda and popcorn, now is the time to get there, because before we jump into wheels, we're gonna introduce two new phrases that 3T is ready to introduce to the world called Wham and Ram. Yes, Ram is radius as measured, Wham is width as measured. So sit down and let's jump into this. So the question that we're always getting is, does this tire fit on my bike? Now 3T has created Wham and Ram as guidelines to create what a true understanding of what tires fit on what different rim and wheel combinations. Well, we can all agree that advertised tire sizes at best have been ambiguous over the last couple of years, and nowadays 3 to 4 millimeters difference is actually a big deal. So 3T, through extensive testing, used narrow, medium, and wide rims on over 100 different tire combinations to create an extensive database that they plan to release to the public very shortly. That's important to 3T for a couple of reasons. One, they don't want riders rubbing tires on their frame sets, and two, aerodynamics. They believe the ideal tire setup is to have no ballooning from the tire to the rim. 3T says that their testing shows that it's very un-aerodynamic to ride this way, and it changes considerably from wheel to wheel, tire to tire, and it's completely different all the time. Again, hence this comprehensive list and the Wham Ram measurements that they're introducing. The transition from tire to rim to down tube and rear cutout of the Exploro has been set out to make it as flat and as aero as possible. Which brings us to the all-new Discus 45 wheels that I have right here. This is a new offering from 3T. They have 45 depth, 40 external width, and a 29 millimeter internal rim width, which is a 20% increase over previous offerings. These are laced up to carbon tie hubs, and the pair of wheels weighs 650 grams per pair. Now, when you start to look at the Schwalbe tires matched up with these rims, you start to see a very flat surface here. 3T tells us that they suggested that you use this type of tire combination because it is the fastest way, without that big ballooning effect that you get when you go with a wider tire and a smaller internal rim width that is less aerodynamic. You combine this type of setup with 3T's new frame set that they have here, and you create what they described as a non-disturbed airflow. Since we're here at the house, I figured we better do a free hub sound check and get a weight on this machine. I mean, we've got it. We've got the professionalism here. So we've got this coming in at 9.09 kilograms. Free hub sound check, please. Roll the drums. That sounds sprite and lively. Woo! So there you have it, the redesigned 3T Exploro Race Max, a new offering from 3T. Let us know down in the comments section what you think of Wham, Ram, variable tube depths and shapes. We'd love to hear your comments. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave those down in the comments section. I'd love to be able to try to answer them as best as I can for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.